Good morning. Welcome back, or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. I would suggest not using your weights today. It's Sunday. Let's take a deep sense of rest in our body as we move. And we're connecting to now, with the awareness that the weights is creating, we're connecting into the line of the movements that we're doing. And as always, today is Sunday, so we're on the floor for the whole thing. There was loads of questions yesterday about that, we're not engaging the core, this thing that you do. It's more we're moving and noticing when the core gets engaged, because there's a rigidity to creating, like solidifying something. But today we'll be stabilizing things as we move, which is different than rigifying something as we move. So let's notice how that goes, okay? So come lie on your back. Come. So lying on your back, your knees are bent, your feet are flat on the floor. And just begin by drawing your spine backwards and flattening into the floor. And then arching and breathing into your belly. So as you move, you're really soft through the deep of your spine. So how soft and mobile can you allow your spine, or how do you include, invite, encourage, allow your spine to get softer? For me, that straight away includes my neck. And so as I move, I'm suddenly going, oh, that's right, my neck is connected to my spine. And as I do that also, I feel much more movement in my rib cage, which allows a softening in my spine. Nice. Come back to center. Roll up along your spine, pushing your feet down, rise up through your hips. And then slowly roll down until you land on the floor. So yesterday we were looking at this sensation that is core. So at the kind of halfway or 3/4 of the way up, I'm starting to feel that engagement of my core. Even begins from the floor, but it's subtle. It's subtle, and then suddenly I'm like, oh yes, I'm lifting with the deep of my belly as I rise up. And then I relax it, and it rests, and then I let it go. And so as you rise, there's engagement, lifting, and softening, and releasing. So again, how do you be strong and at the same time really smooth and connected? How do you move gracefully and strongly in your body? Walk your feet a tiny bit closer together and then draw your right knee up towards your chest. And then pushing your left foot down, lift up through your hips. So now that core feeling happens almost straight away because the weight difference with holding the right leg above me makes it turn on much, much faster. So notice that sensation of engagement into your core happens much, much closer to the floor as you roll up and as you smoothly roll down. One more time. And just notice it, that feeling of, oh, that's core engagement. Other side. Left knee is up towards you, right foot's on the floor. Smoothly lift up through your hips. And just feel like, wow, that sensation means that there's something happening in my gut, in my core, in my muscles of my spine to lift me up. How smooth along your spine can you make this movement? Can you roll up along your spine? Can you roll down along your spine? Nice. Both feet to the floor. Nice. Squeeze your right knee in towards you. Stretch your right leg up. And then lower your right leg down until it floats just above the floor. Bend your right knee in. Stretch your right leg up. Pull it down towards you with it up. While lowering it down. Where in this movement do you feel your core engaging? Where do you hear that song of your belly? Nice. Other side. Left knee up towards you, squeezing it in. Stretch it up, pull it down, lowering it down. Or do you hear something turning on in your belly? Or the different kind of turns on that there's different elements of my torso, of my belly that are engaging as I move. Nice. One more time. So now we're going to zoom our leg out, which will engage the core in a different way. Draw the right knee up towards you. And then zoom your right leg out to a 45-degree angle and let your bum lift off the floor. Bend your right knee in, hug it in, and then zoom your leg out. So now your core is engaging almost straight away. As soon as you begin to lengthen that right leg out and lift, something happens. So the other day I was in the fish shop and I was standing with my back to the door in Ali's. Ali's is a local fish shop to here. Back to the door, and somebody said, "Oh, you're Ciara." And I turned and somebody had recognized my yoga trousers. So funny. So bring your bum to the floor, right foot to the floor, squeeze your left knee up towards you. And this person was saying that she does all the Sundays. So she's here today, which is really cool. Bend your knee, squeeze your knee up onto your chest. So there's some people who've done all the Sundays because Sunday is a day for them to do yoga. And some people have done none of the Sundays because they do yoga Monday to Friday. It's interesting how there's different groups of people. You're doing zoomies with your leg. So squeeze your left knee in and then stretch it out. Bum lifts in the air. Bend it in. And then stretch it out. Nice. Bum to the floor, legs to the floor, or feet to the floor. Rock your knees from side to side. When does your core engage? So for me, there's a little bit of core engagement here, but when I drop my knee down to the right, I'm going to stretch my left leg out towards the right. I'm going to straighten it out a little bit and then come back and then kick your right foot towards the left. So go slowly. When I first started this movement this morning, one of my legs wouldn't straighten completely because it didn't want to. So I left it bent. Didn't force my leg beyond the resources of my spine. So you're just noticing, when does my belly engage? as I rock from side to side and bring my leg a little bit more over towards the other side. So my top leg travels. Again, it's not about some kind of perfect pose. It's not about having to straighten your leg. It's like, what happens and how do I listen to me in this moment? How does my belly engage as my leg travels? What's the difference between tightness in my leg and core engagement? It's a very big question. How do I mind myself in this movement that I'm not straining my lower back, but I'm allowing more movement to happen in my leg? One more time each side. Nice. Back to center. Just pause. So lift your right foot off the floor and bring your right ankle to your left knee. So now my knee is out at a 40, kind of a figure four shape. And now do the opposite. Bring your right knee to center and try and lift your right foot up over towards the right. So you're rolling your knee inwards and trying to lift your foot. It's really hard, that one, okay? Other way, foot to your ankle, drop your knee. And then knee to your knee, lift your foot. So the external rotation is usually bigger. Internal rotation, typically smaller. External rotation. And notice your core. When does your core engage with this one? What happens through your belly as you move your leg? Nice, other side. Left foot up to your right knee. Change, knee to knee. Foot tries to lift out to the side. Foot to knee. I have so little range in this direction. My leg doesn't really internally rotate here. But it's okay. I'm just meeting it as it is. I'm not forcing it. I couldn't force it anyways. And so I'm just allowing that sense of what is possible here as I bring my knee in and my foot lifts. And then what is possible as I bring my foot in and my knee drops. One more time, each way. Nice. Foot to the floor. So we're going to do this movement, but we're going to do it lying on our side. So reach your right arm long and long along the floor. Bring your ankles together and your knees together. Drop your knees over towards the right and come lie on your right side. So you're lying on your arm. I want to shift a little bit or wiggle a little bit so that I'm actually lying on the right side of my body. Left hand comes to rest on the floor in front of you. Lift your left knee up. Oh, first off, feel so the side of your pelvis, this bone here at the side of your pelvis. So feel the one that's on the floor. So it's like your hip bone here and feel it on the floor. And you're going to try and keep it steady. So it's not going to be rolling forward and backwards. So your pelvis is not rolling. You're keeping the side of your hip solid. So push the side of your hip a little bit into the floor to solidify it, just to really stabilize it, okay? And now lift your left knee up and try and touch your left toes to your right knee. Same movement as before, kind of. And then bring your knee to your knee and try and lift your foot upwards. But notice the pelvis on the floor, and you're trying not to roll your pelvis as you do this. So it's knee to knee, foot lifts, foot to knee, knee lifts. And you're just noticing, how do I stabilize through the pelvis? Pushing your left hand into the floor will help. When does your core engage more or less? Or what are the peak moments of core? Nice. Draw a big circle with your knee. Again, keep the sense of the base of your pelvis is in the right side of your pelvis really steady on the floor as you draw the biggest circle that you can with your knee. How do you stabilize? Nice. And then stabilize in the other direction. So it's not squeeze your core, it's Push the side of your hip into the floor, and that will do something to your core, but it has a function. It's not just a generic, unfocused squeezing of the core. One more time. Nice. Now you're going to draw your left foot backwards. As you do that, you can reach the left hand forward. You can even bring your face a bit closer to the floor. And now we're going to begin to roll. Bring your left elbow back, your left knee forward. I'm going to keep my head looking towards the right the whole time. For me, that really supports my neck. You can see what's right for you. We're doing propellers. Left hand goes forward, left foot goes back, left elbow back, left elbow forward, left knee back. Oh, do opposites. And you're just noticing, how does your pelvis rest on the floor? And is it moving a lot or not at all? Just feeling this, noticing. You can, if you want, begin to straighten your arm so your arm flings overhead to come to the left and your leg flings forward straight. So now you're doing full-on helicopter, where your leg is straight, your arm is straight. But if you have weights on your arm, even though I said don't do it, then be really careful with your shoulder here. Your shoulder's in really open hyperextension, so just be careful, okay? One more time. Nice. Come back onto the floor, land on the floor, and feel the difference. Nice. So come lie. I'm going to turn so you can see me as me turning my back to you. So stretch the left arm long beside you. Bring your ankles together, your knees together. Drop your knees down towards the left and then come roll onto your left arm. Bring your right hand to the floor in front of you and really stabilize the base of the left pelvis on the floor. I'm kind of wiggling my rib cage a little bit, so I feel quite solid on the floor. So to begin, bring your toe to your knee, and then knee to your knee. Notice your pelvis. Can you keep it steady as you do this? And when does your core engage? Maybe it doesn't, you know? Probably does. When does your bum engage? Dun, dun, dun. Yes, your bum is really active right now. Your thigh is really active right now. Nice. Roll a big circle with your knee. Keep your pelvis steady. So this is the one where your pelvis could really just start wobbling all over the place. So push your right hand more into the floor, push your right pelvis into the floor. Stabilize as you roll a big circle with your knee. And then circle in the other direction. Nice. Cool. From here, kick your right leg back, right hand forward. And then bend your elbow, pull your right elbow back as you draw your knee forward. Keep looking towards the left. Sweep your hand forward, foot back. Sweep your knee forward, elbow back. Just feeling that. Lengthening. Drawing back. What's your pelvis doing on the floor now? Let it roll or rock or change its position as much as it needs to allow this movement happen in your body. Maybe if you want, you can begin to swing a straight leg. And a straight arm. Maybe space-wise, you don't have enough space. Who knows? Nice. One more time. Nice. Come back to center. Squeeze your knees up towards your chest. Hug them in and just rock them side to side. And then roll like there's a clock on the back of your pelvis. And then roll in the other direction. Nice. Feet to the floor. Sway your knees from side to side. Cool. And then just rest on the floor. Stretch your legs out long. And bring your palms, either keep them on your belly, which is really nice, or bring the backs of your hands to the floor and just let that land. Breath is in your belly. Shoulders are resting, legs are long. Do you feel there's an engagement through the belly as you breathe? So which one is more engaged? Is it the inhale or is it your exhale? Inhaling, exhaling. Which one engages or activates or enlivens your belly differently or more than the other? Nice. How wonderful, guys. So stay there, just rest on the floor. It's Sunday morning or Sunday evening, depending on when you're doing this with me. And yeah, just keep breathing, just in general. And just there right now, just notice which engages your core more, inhaling or exhaling. You know, which one do you feel something happening with more? I'll see y'all tomorrow. We're going to start standing tomorrow. We're going to start moving with all these skills that we've learned. We're going to start really putting them into flow, into motion. Very interesting. So be well, be awesome, be you, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Great. Slán.